what's up? It's Danielle. So today I'm going to be taking you through my pocket-sized Filofax. First of all, I just want to say that I have not added a whole lot to this just yet, only because I'm really trying to figure out what I want to have in here. I already have an A5 and that stays at home. It never leaves my desk, and the only reason why it would leave my desk would be if I was on vacation or something like that, you know, whatever, or if I were to ever like go on a trip somewhere or whatever. But anyways, I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do with this. So I do not have everything figured out right now, and I hope you guys will be patient with me. But I decided a couple weeks ago that I did not want to use this anymore. I will keep it just because, I mean, I did buy it, and it will be another point of reference for my work schedule. But aside from that, I will not be using this anymore. So the reason why I felt the need to have the pocket-sized Filofax was obviously to make my life a little bit easier and to, you know, kind of have a way to plan on the go. And I feel like this is going to be the start of something great. So let's just get into it. By the way, this is the Saffiano in the pocket size, and it's just black. I just wanted to go with something that was, you know, very neutral, very classic, and, you know, just something that will be kind of timeless. So this is what it looks like when you open it. Like I said, I do not have a lot in this yet. I'm still working on things, and for the most part, all I've really done, aside from adding in my own things, are just, you know, making like my dividers. I literally just took some of the gray, what is it? I just took some of the gray scrapbook paper that I used for my inserts in my A5, and I just made it for this one. Again, you guys know my deal with dividers. I don't really feel the need to have them decorated or anything because, if I'm being honest, I never look at the actual divider. I look at what's on the divider and basically nothing else. So that being said, let's just get into it. Over here I have this little it's kind of like a color coding thing, but I will actually not be using this. I was trying it out just for a couple days, and I have not even used this, so that is being retired. I have a little thing of Post-its. These are the full adhesive ones, and I absolutely love those, and they fit really nicely right there. I do not have anything in this pocket right here. And then for the actual meat of the planner, I just have the original Filofax page with the original flyleaf. So there's really nothing there. I'm just kind of, you know, using that for right now until I find the time to go ahead and make a little dashboard. So the first section, and I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of set up the way my A5 is because that's the way my brain works. You know, I've gotten so used to my A5 that I figured it would be a good idea to kind of set this one up in a similar way. So this section is completely dedicated to my monthly planning. Now, you guys know I like to have a calendar for the upcoming month, so that's why you see the month of July right here. I actually did use the actual Post-it or the sticky note from the Target dollar spot. I need to laminate another one of these so that I can put it in here, but I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. And then right here, this is just, you know, these are just reminders and things that I want to do. So right here, I just have a reminder of when I have my next doctor's appointment, which I haven't filled in yet, but it says next appointment with the bruja, which, if you don't know Spanish, actually means hag. And I don't really like my doctor, so that's what I call her. But anyways, right here, again, just, you know, a little note of something that I want to do. It just says make pocket size calendar the same size, or the same layout as the A5. Just kind of, you know, a little note that I made while I was on the run. And then these are upcoming TV shows for the month of June that I want to make sure I do not miss. And then this is what the month actually looks like right now. It looks incredibly chaotic, and it will not be looking like this next month. I already have something else set up that I will be sharing with you guys when I do my month of July plan with me video, so you'll be able to see that in there. But basically, this is kind of set up the way my other one is right now, and this is what it looks like. So you guys know that I've been using like the dot system, and that hasn't really been working for me. So I'll share what I'm doing with that, you know, in that video. But this is why you saw the little note card with all the different, you know, color coding stuff, because it all goes back to this. But again, I will be changing this. It will not look the same whatsoever. I already have the month of July printed out. I just need to cut it down to size, punch it, and put it in here, and then, you know, start filling stuff out. So there's that. The next section is actually my daily section. And again, this is something that is probably going to change. I mean, I know it's going to change if you want me to be honest, because again, I actually printed out something that I wanted to try, which is this. And I'm not necessarily going to have, you know, the dates on there. So you guys know I love to put my dates in on my inserts, but I'm kind of, you know, kind of want to try doing it this way, just because, you know, I already have the month at a glance, you know, in the first section. So, and not only that, I kind of got lazy, and I figured it would be a little bit more fun if I could, you know, try to see if I know what day is what, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to try this, because this layout that I have right now, I haven't been filling it out at all, because for this planner, I just don't add as much to it as I do for my main one. When I told you guys about this, I think I mentioned that, or when I did the unboxing, I'm pretty sure that I mentioned that I wanted to use this planner for things that, you know, involve me being out of the house. So really for me, that only means working, but it also means like getting groceries and any other kind of things that I might need, anything that, you know, we need for the house or car stuff, you know, basically stuff like that, appointments and meetings, even though those will be, you know, in my A5 still. But I don't have a very eventful life outside of working and doing YouTube. So that is literally all you're going to see is work on every single one of these pages. I also didn't even bother to decorate these because I like to save that for my A5 pages. And you know, I just think it's a little pointless to do it in this one, because this is more so an on-the-go planner for me. It's not so much like, hey, let's sit down and play around with this. I may or may not use some washi on this or stamp a little bit, but for the most part, I'm thinking I'm going to be saving that for my A5. So really nothing that exciting in this section. And then this one, again, is the same as what I have in my A5. This section involves my notes, brain dump, projects, and project breakdown. I also decided to include my annual to-do list, and that's just because I can always kind of, you know, see what needs to happen for next month without having to refer to the one that I have in my A5. So if anything involves me having to go out of the house, such as, let's see, maybe I need to go and get caulk to, redo the tub or the shower or whatever, or maybe I need to go and get new locks and deadbolts or whatever, anything like that, then, that would involve being out of the house. So I just kind of figured I would throw it in here. And not only that, this also will help me to plan when I'm at home, because I can make notes and everything like that while I'm on the run. And then, I can sit down with this and with my A5 and kind of go through things that need to get done. I also included this, which is new. So you guys might remember that in my last Filofax update, I showed you all of the different to-do lists that I have. I have like a quarterly one, I have a weekly one, I have a daily one that is basically ingrained into my mind. I also have an annual one, which is this one. So there are definitely a lot of to-dos, and I really felt the need to kind of consolidate things just because I felt I was getting really stressed out with the amount of stuff. So I kind of came up with this to help with that, and these are things that I really don't feel the need to do every single month, just because sometimes it needs it and sometimes it doesn't. So I don't really see the point in wasting my time doing it every single month or every single quarter, if that makes sense. It's kind of just like, if it really needs it, then I'll do it. But if it doesn't, then I'll just leave it be. So this is what I call the AN to-do list, which basically means as needed. So I'm not really home enough to use the microwave anymore. So I don't really need to clean it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with like the outside windows. I will clean those probably every season, but aside from that, I'm not going to go crazy because we end up wasting water that way and there's really no point. Same thing with like deep cleaning the oven. I don't really get a chance to actually make my meals anymore. It's kind of just like whatever I can shove in a lunchbox and run out the door with. So that being said, I don't really have to deep clean the oven. Obviously, the whole organizing the kitchen and the pantry, those will have to be done eventually, but so it's just stuff like that. You can kind of tailor it to your own needs. And then this is kind of just a little, page of notes. I kind of want to look into this brand and maybe add something from there to the giveaway. I'm really thinking about it, honestly. Okay, these next two sections, well, I guess the section after this doesn't have a title, but this one is for studying and school stuff. So I'm pretty sure you guys know that I'm actually going to be going to law school, so it's a little bit late at this point for me to, get into law school for the fall, but I'm definitely going to try for the spring. So that being said, I had to start studying. I don't even have my LSAT books yet, but this is actually for something totally different, which I will talk to you guys about at a later date. But, this is going to be strictly for studying and school stuff. So I'm really going to try to have like a study schedule and, going to have like a to-do list for studying just to make sure that I get things done. I found that I work better that way. So I'm definitely going to be using that method. Not only that, but I'll have, any kind of like information that I need or any kind of like reminders in this section. And I feel like it was just, a good idea to have that since school will definitely be a big part of my life again because, gonna be in law school for about 2 years. So I'm just adding up, adding to all the years I've already been in school. So, and then back here, this isn't something that I necessarily want to label groceries and shopping, but that is essentially what this is for. So I actually did a test run with this where I took my pocket-sized Filofax with me today while I was shopping, and I kept this list at the front. And I found myself, when I walked in, I had this in my hand, but I found myself wandering, and I was really kind of like, oh, well, let's go look at this. I want to look at this. And then I ended up walking out with 3 things of makeup because I didn't stick to my list. But I am happy to say that I did get everything on this list aside from my LSAT books, because I have to order those, just because I had this in my hand and I was able to refer back to it. Now, you guys are probably like, well, doesn't it work that way if you have a list? I'm the type of person where I'm like, okay, I got this. I'll have the list in my purse, but I won't refer back to it. And then I end up deviating from it. And, it's like when you go to Target, you go in for like one thing and you come out with 17 other things, and you don't have the original thing that you wanted to go in there for. So this definitely works for me. From what I gather, this was just like the first time that I did it, but I went to like 3 different places and it worked out beautifully. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. I mean, this will essentially be living in my purse, so I'm not going to have any issues with that. I can just keep a running list of groceries in here, or anything that I might need, and I can also refer back to the list that I keep in my A5, which usually I keep stuff like that in my brain dump, and it will work out beautifully. So aside from that, I just have a bunch of blank paper. I actually cut all of this down myself because I am not the type of person who wants to repeatedly be making orders to Filofax. I don't feel the need to pay for that kind of thing. I would rather just cut it down myself. And at the very back, there is a top-loading envelope, which I don't really know what I'm going to use it for, but I guess I'll find something, or I'll just leave it hanging. But right here, I don't have anything. I'm thinking about maybe putting a little notebook right here, like the ones that flip over. But for right now, it's just kind of up in the air, just like everything else in this planner. So there is that. I am also using a Bic Atlantis in the 0.7, and it's just a ballpoint. So I just have that in here because I do not want to have my favorite pen, which is the Pilot Dr. Grip Gel, in there, because I don't want to lose it. So I would be devastated if I lost that pen, but I don't really care if I lose this one. So that's kind of why it's hanging out in there. Not only that, but it writes on all surfaces. So if I'm, kind of in a jam and I need to write something down, I can just write it on whatever surface is there, if that makes any sense. So anyways, this probably is not what you guys were expecting. At least I'm pretty sure it's not. But I am still kind of trying to figure things out in here. Like I said, am still trying to make stuff for this, and I'm still in the process of doing all of that. I don't think people realize how much work it truly is until they start doing it themselves. Because trust me, I never really thought it was a lot of work until I started doing it myself. But anyways, I'm really, really loving this so far. I have found that I'm a little bit more at peace mentally because I have this. And, it's nice to be able to refer back to things in here instead of telling myself, oh, well, I have to wait till I get home so that I can look in my A5. But I am definitely glad that I did this. I'm very, very happy with it. And I will definitely be adding more, so stay tuned. But anyways, I'm going to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to y'all in my next video. Bye, guys.